And we are back here in PUP Gymnasium Santa Mesa, Manila. It's the second game of the game day. It's the LPU Laguna going up against the De La Salle Dasmariñas. It's still Justine Hernandez alongside Coach Daryl Alalod. We'll be walking with you in today's ballgame.
And Justin, this will be a nice game again because La Salle Dasmariñas is coming off the win. And on the other hand, LPU Laguna is also coming off their first win of the season. So this will be a battle of the winning column on this ball game now. And let's give it to our venue announcer for the first 5 of this game.
And there's the tip-off. Ball goes to the LPU. Landicho will try to start it with a three-pointer. No go. De Los Santos with the board. Now they're running. That's Calagos already. No go. Calagos tried to tip that ball back in, but no go.
And you know what, Justin? This will be an exciting matchup. There will be a great head-to-head battle right here coming from the two guards. For LPU Laguna, of course, we are looking for the production coming off their big man, Rodolfo Alota. 11 points with 12 rebounds, a rebounding machine for the LPU Laguna. And also this guy, Puda, a lengthy big man coming from La Salle Dasmariñas.
And Lat is leaking out. And he gets that two-pointer to go. And he will start this ball game.
The first blood created here by Owen Lat. A wide-bodied guard coming from the LPU Laguna side.
And De La Salle's bench is still standing up, waiting for that basket to come in.
A great defense in there by Hidalgo, but Rogelio Calagos striking from the outside here for La Salle Dasmariñas. And look at this, Puda, a steal.
Liamado for three. Could have been a back-to-back, Coach Darrow.
You're correct, Justin. A great defense shown here by La Salle Dasmariñas early in this game. Entry pass to Alota.
Hits nothing but the bottom of the backboard. Now Landicho. Nice fake by Landicho.
And Ivan Landicho, one of the shortest player that we have here at the NCRAA, but always playing with a big heart. Can strike from the outside, can also penetrate inside using the quick foot speed. That's Ivan Landicho for LPU Laguna.
And as Montes is fouled inside, he'll have a trip to the free throw line. The first for today's ball game. He'll make the first of two.
Louis Montes. The playing style of Louis Montes is really it is one of the daredevil players that we have, using his upper body strength to bully his defender in the paint despite the lack of height that he has.
He may be lacking in height, but never in intensity, Coach Darrow.
You are correct, Justin. Let's wait if Luis Montes will do or will give us the same energy like what he did in the previous game.
That is an early substitution for LPU.
Another steady guard for LPU Laguna, Larguesa. is fielded in.
Yamado, his second three-pointer, no go. LPU trying to mount an offense here. They are down by one. Hidalgo to Landicho to Alota. Alota fighting on the post. He'll pass it out. Now it's Landicho. Spins. Almost loses the leather. Hidalgo, 3 seconds to go. Lat puts it up. He's fouled.
It's a great pass on that possession by Miko Hidalgo to an open Owen Lat. That's why Paul De Los Santos unable to catch Owen Lat on that layup. He's a little bit late. That's why he just reached the hand of Owen Lat instead of intimidating the shot. And he was called with a foul.
Coach Darrell, in the previous game, PMMS won that game through great playmaking. They shared the ball, and that is what LPU is doing here too. Looks like they had the same formula like what the PMMS had in the previous game.
And Luis Montes, wild finish on that possession, and it stays with them.
It's very evident now, Coach Darrell, what you said a while ago, how Luis Montes plays this kind of basketball, this brand of basketball, as others would call it the bully ball inside. He's small, but he's hefty.
And you can see the cuts on his arms, probably doing a long time in the weight room for Luis Montes.
A muscle man in his own right. Nice pass to De Los Santos, but he misses.
And another miss for another muscle man, which is Paul De Los Santos. And on the other end, a hefty forward, Paul Hidalgo. That's Miko Hidalgo's first basket in this game.
Coach Darrell, if you are somebody that is of smaller build like me, and you see Hidalgo running down the floor, rushing towards you, what will you do? On my behalf, I will just stand aside, let him take the two.
On me personally, before I became this wide, I will stay in front. That's how fearless I am. No matter how big you are, I will still challenge you. I might commit a foul, but I'll make sure that you will not take that too.
So basically, Coach Darrell, no easy baskets.
No easy baskets. How big, how long, how tall you are, I'm always there in front. But this time, it's Calagos, another 3 points for him. And another steal. Look at this hustle by Lasal Dasmariñas.
Now it's Montes attacking. Off that collect. Misses. Rebounded by Hidalgo. But it will be tipped. Ball will go to the LPU.
You know, Rogelio Calagos, he already sinks into 3-point basket. But if you're going to look at him, his shoulder is still wrapped at to this point. This is because he suffered a shoulder injury, I think 3 games or 4 games ago. But good to know that he's slowly getting back on the same or normal.
And LPU just missed 2 wide open shots there, and they would force that third shot. And the ball will remain with the LPU as it will be blocked. And the ball will still out of bounds. And looks like a platoon squad is imminent for the green shirts. LPU gets another board. That's Landicho, the smallest guy on the floor. Now Largueza thought about it. Gives it to Hidalgo. Fake pass. He sees an open 3. Misses. Rebounded by Calagos. Calagos with a wrapped shoulder is fouled. 2 shots coming for him.
Rogelio Calagos is really one of the playmaker for the De La Salle Dasmariñas. 12.8 points per ball game and a platoon substitution here for La Salle Dasmariñas. And another energy guy coming off the bench. This is one thing that is what we can say is a privilege for La Salle Dasmariñas, for you to have a player like Shan Vesagas coming off the bench. An energy guy who can shoot from the outside, penetrates, good ball handling skills as well. And he's also tall for a wing player.
Shan Vesagas, a complete package, some sort here for De La Salle Dasmariñas as Calagos makes both free throws. And a substitution here. He checks out now. He'll take a rest.
And look at the fans that we have here at the PUP Gymnasium. You know, we are always inviting everyone there to watch us live here at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Santa Mesa, Manila. Free admission, you're always welcome.
It's these types of game that you enjoy to watch. You don't get to see this competitiveness every day, Coach Darrow.
You are correct, Justin. And look at this. Lasal Dasmariñas attacking now on the perimeter. This time courtesy of JL Resonable.
Beautiful play there by Resonable off the bench, already producing off the fadeaway. And Hidalgo will take the three on the other end. He'll try to answer back. No goal. Nice hustle there, but he'll give it to the wrong man. Now wide open three. No goal. Rebounded by the big man. Kicks out. Vesagas. He said, wait a minute. Now Arcangel kicks it to the corner. Reyes asking for the leather. Won't be given. Kicks out to Vesagas. Got 1 second to shoot. Off the 1 foot. And hits nothing but the backboard. It's a 24-second shot clock violation. It's great to see unselfish basketball, but anything too much is bad.
You know what? I want to call out the bench of Lasal Dasmariñas on that possession. You were there sitting at the bench, there to remind also your teammates who's playing on the floor about the clock remaining or the shot clock remaining. You know, they may not be aware that's his responsibility, but it's also your responsibility as a teammate to make them aware.
Exactly, Coach Darros. You were saying that Largueza slipped and lost the ball there. It resulted to an easy two by Arcangel on the other end. Largueza almost loses the leather once again, but he will be fouled this time by Bunda.
And that's the first personal foul called on Ron Roy Bunda.
And Largueza will take a breather here. LPU down by 6. 14-8 is our score. At the post. Gives it. That's Landicho for 3. Overcooks that one. Now Sean Vesagas is attacking. Sean Vesagas is hit upstairs and will be fouled by Neo Operario.
Sean Vesagas is a really strong player, especially if he goes to his right. My advice to this kid, probably practice more going to the left so you will have more options on where to shoot.
Now Sean Vesagas is on the line and Operario still talking to the referee. Appealing that call. And Vesaga splits it. Operario being trapped by the defense and he loses it. And all the way he goes
And
for Sean Vesagas.
that 2-point basket that De La Salle Dasmariñas convert is because of their strong defense. And here they go again. The drop pass now is intercepted by Banatikla.
Back-to-back steals for Vesagas, but that time he'll turn it back around. Now Lat. Choosing to drive on the right side. Gives it to Operario. Kicks out. No go. And there's a foul.
And a loose ball foul called in here. I think that will be against Alfonso Arcangel.
And a timeout will be called by De La Salle. We'll be right back after a short break. And we are back. Looks like she's having a good time watching the NCRAA, but not having that good time because of the heat. Coach on the benches for our audiences, and clean block there upstairs by Atienza. But looks like Operario is hit in the balls. Fake. May have been a bad hezzy. He was wide open, and Reyes will tip the ball out of bounds. And Operario still having a hard time here.
And Lee Reyes is still quiet right now. With just he already plays for I think 3 minutes already, but few touches for Lee Reyes.
Now they are attacking. Banatikla gives it to Operario. Operario is fouled again. Operario has been showing this very intense ball game.
Neo Operario, actually, if you're going to look at his play style, he used to shoot from the outside and drive hard from the inside if there's an opening.
Very gritty, Coach Darryl.
You are correct, Justin. And this player, and also he has a great ball handling skills as well. Maybe he can practice more of that ball handling skill and also passing skill. He can be converted as a tall point guard.
Now Operario makes the first one, but as a common theme here in the NCRAA, he'll miss the second. And on your screens right now are fans here enjoying collegiate basketball here
And
inside the PUP Gymnasium.
That's one of the players of De La Salle Dasmariñas women's basketball, enjoying the game of their men's basketball game.
It's all about showing the support, Coach Darryl. Like, your men's team are playing, the women's are watching, and on the other side of the floor after this game, the men's will be watching and supporting their women's team. It always feels good when there's somebody behind you cheering for you.
And look at that, a layup by Lord Barbin. Really shows us how high he can jump.
Now Arcangel being dropped upstairs. Tushan Vesagas, the shooter. Rebounded by Lat. Now Operario, stolen by Arcangel with a Hesi. Gives it to Bunda. Bunda's fouled.
And it's a hand check foul called against Neo Operario. That's a bad defense given there by Neo Operario. Doing the hand check. Hand check is a foul nowadays. During my time, it will still be a good play. It's good to do that hand checking. Actually, even the coach are telling you to do a hand check to your teammates or to your opponent so you will know where he will go. But this time, they remove that rule and it will be an automatic foul. So Neo Operario needs to learn that no hand check nowadays.
Game has truly changed and evolved over the years. As they say, Coach Darryl, today's game favors the offense more than the defense. Now, Barbin is on the offensive end to Operario. He has his on that one. He got 5 seconds to work with. Operario for 3. Off the board, no go. He gets his own miss. Now Operario attacking, but passes it to Arcangel. That's not his teammate. Now Vesagas is attacking. Vesagas Hesi. He got ping-ponged on the defense with 2 brick walls in the paint. Razonable. Wow, what a move, but no go and blocked again by LPU. That's Banatikla with a nice block.
It's a great defense showed in there by Banatikla and Atienza, a 2 big boy coming from LPU Laguna side.
And 5 seconds left. Nice pass to Vesagas, and Vesagas will get it to go. And that is it for the first quarter of play. 2014, DLSU Dasmariñas enjoys a 6-point lead. We'll be right back for the second quarter of play. We are still here at the Santa Mesa inside the PUP Gymnasium. That first quarter field of action is brought to you by Panina Beach Camp in Real Quezon and During's Barbecue and Restaurant located at Calauan here in Pasig City.
And also, our official basketball Molten for the real game and Team MMG Metro Muscle. Also, we want to thank the PSC, especially the PSC chairman, Mr. Richard Backman, a former De La Salle University player, played for Alaska Milkman and became a assistant coach also of Coach Team Cohen for Alaska.
Now LPU loses the letter once again. It's Montes with the active hands, and Montes all the way to the basket for two. Operario being trapped.
Louis Montes will make sure that he will sink that open layup in. And this time, he's the one
Now,
tasked to play a strong defense against Neo Operario.
look at Banaticlao work inside. Just a workforce inside the paint.
Banaticla, if you're going to look at him, he looks deceiving. He looks low, but he can run. He can even dribble the basketball despite the size that he has. So what an advantage for this guy, Mark Banaticla.
He is hefty and big, but he is also graceful with his footwork.
And not only graceful with his footwork, smooth jumper as well for this kid, Mark Banaticla.
That is how you see, Coach Gerald, that really the game has evolved from slow centers, big centers, to centers who can move like a point guard and shoot like a point guard. And now, as I was telling you in the first quarter of play, Coach Gerald, Banaticla and Atienza has been mounting a very commendable inside defense.
You're correct. They're really intimidating. It's like you are playing against the wall if these two players is on the field.
Now, that's Operario with a short stab, jumper no-go, and Banaticla is just bulldozing his way through Puda. Atienza on the post against De Los Santos. Atienza misses. Puda gets the board. Calagos thought about the fast break. Now he gives it. And that's a nice pass by De Los Santos to Yamado.
Is a good recognition by Paul De Los Santos. He really attracts the defense. You know, after the double team happened, he dishes the ball to an open player, which is Sinfrid Liamado.
And steal by Puda. Passes it to Montes. Montes gets foul and the end one.
A relentless finisher for De La Salle Dasmariñas, Louis Montes.
And an early timeout here by the LPU as the lead grows to 10. We'll be right back after this break. We are back now for the second quarter of play. LPU called an early timeout just 2 minutes into this quarter because DLSU has been having the run of this quarter. It's now a 10-point game. Now it's Landicho. It's a 11-point game. Landicho being smothered by the defense. And that's an 8-second violation. Wow.
What an intensity given here by De La Salle Dasmariñas. Once the ball goes to the sideline, they double team right away. And not only double team, the passing lane is also clogged. That's why they are rewarded with another possession on this game.
And Hidalgo having some words with Atienza there, pointing that he should be in that spot near the half court line. Montes kicks out. Puda back to Montes. Sidestepping. Calagos airmails it.
And a shot clock violation called here against De La Salle Dasmariñas. This time, LPU Laguna shows a wonderful defense.
Coach Tito Reyes was looking at the referee asking for a foul on that one, but no love was given. Now Hidalgo on the right wing. Gives it to Banatikla. Inside to Alota. Nice play and a foul will be whistled on Puda.
And the jumping Alota. You know, this kid, Rodolfo Alota, he is like a pogo stick. You know, he really has a quick second jump. And only few players has that. Arwin Santos, Rico Meyerhofer, and one of them is Rodolfo Alota. What a unique player.
And Alota makes the bonus. It's an 8-point game. Calagos to Reyes to Montes. He was open for a moment there, but Reyes too late for the pass. Montes attacking. Nice pass inside. And De Los Santos will deliver. He won't disappoint. Hidalgo gives it to Montes. And a foul.
Another and one opportunity in here by Louis Montes. He knows that there is a taller Rodolfo Alota at his back. So he shielded the ball with his body and make sure that he will gain his balance and still make the shot after the contact.
And it seems like, Coach Darrell, that LPU Laguna is helpless at the backcourt at this moment. Now Hidalgo gives it. Larguesa almost loses that lever. Hidalgo. He sees an open lane, a mismatch of some sort. Nice pass to Banatikla. Off the front rim and out. Alota jumps without the ball. Now they're having a struggle inside the paint. Landicho behind the back. Almost loses it. And there's a foul.
And you can see here the aggressiveness of Rogelio Calagos, diving for a loose ball, giving all his heart out just to gain that possession. Kudos to the point guard, Rogelio Calagos.
Coach Darrell, you told me a while ago that Rogelio Calagos is banded up right now, all wrapped up because he got an injury 3 games before. Are you sure he's injured?
He is just a tiger. He is wounded, but will play all of his hearts out.
Montes, no go. Reyes, step back, blocked by Alota. That lengthy Alota. Oh, sorry, that was Banatikla who gets that block. Now Banatikla gives it to Landicho. Landicho takes the ill-advised 3, no go. Now Calagos again. To Montes against Banatikla. Montes tries to outrun him. Gives it to De Los Santos underneath. To Reyes, but it will be stolen by Hidalgo. Now it's the running game. Largueza is blocked upstairs.
It's a great recovery on the defense for La Salle Dasmariñas. On the other end, it's Paul De Los Santos maintaining the balance and one opportunity for the muscle man, Paul De Los Santos.
The ability of the green shirts in general to get that basket with contact is uncanny, Coach Darrell. They have been delivering end ones left and right this quarter.
They're having a run again here at the second period. 12-5 to be exact. Make it 14-5 and chance to make it 15 here after this free throw of Paul De Los Santos.
De Los Santos has this weird ritual on the free throw line where he's like bouncing off before taking that shot, like couple of pumps.
Probably because of the biceps that he has. You know, you want to relax it a bit, a little bit tight maybe, but still good looking free throw shot for Paul De Los Santos.
Now Larguesa, 3-on-1 break. Lat. Oh, that's a sorry miss for Lat. Never mind.
And that's what I'm talking about, Rodolfo Alota. The second jump of this dude is really phenomenal. And now, and one opportunity will be given to him.
You know, there are opportunities when you think that that's the best opportunity, and out of that broken play, you get a better opportunity, and that's the case in this one for LPU. They missed an open layup. Alota grabs the board and gets hammered and won.
And we want to give a shout out to one of our live viewers out there, Regina Pangilinan. Go De La Salle, Dasmariñas, go Patriots, keep fighting.
Showing some support and love to her team. There's a foul whistled here. And Reyes will book his first trip to the free throw line. It's 35-22. It's a 13-point game.
You know, Justin, Lee Reyes is a phenomenal basketball player. This is a young man, actually, one of the youngest players that we have here for La Salle Dasmariñas, but really contributes well, especially in the rebounding and inside presence for La Salle Dasmariñas.
And Atienza has been a beacon of defense, a tower of power, if you say, underneath for LPU. Look at his presence inside. And that's a foul. That's a foul on Lee Reyes. It's a loose ball foul.
And it was called against Lee Reyes, and that's his third personal foul already. We are only on the second period.
Too early for the third personal foul for Lee Reyes. We're just halfway through, and Atienza just bulldozing Lee Reyes.
Good recognition there by Atienza. He knows that Lee Reyes is already in a foul trouble. He will attack him right away after that foul committed by Lee Reyes.
And Calagos was wide open. No go. And who'll get it? Arumin? No, it's Atienza who gets the board. Now Operario being smothered by the defense. Landicho, quick release three, no go. And there's a foul underneath. And that will be against.
I think that will be called against.
Oh, that's another foul on Reyes.
Lee Reyes, that's one thing that he needs to learn. Needs to maintain his composure and not commit much of the foul.
And De La Salle will want to talk things over. We'll be right back after the short while. And he makes the first of two. That is Vargas on the free throw line. Makes both free throws. Calagos gives it to Razonable. To Vesagas. Thought about passing it in the middle to Reyes. Coach Daryl, it's a wonder that with 4 fouls now for Reyes, is still on the floor.
And one thing that is good about La Salle Dasmariñas, they have a great big man backup, or actually their starting five is Puda. So even if Lee Reyes is in foul trouble, they can still field him in.
Yeah, Atienza there against 4 green shirts on that rebound play. Lat gives it wide open, Landicho. No go. Rebounded by Razonable. Razonable hands it over to his point guard, Calagos. to Reyes. Left wide open. No go. Rebounded by Atienza. Atienza has been a rebound machine and
You're correct, Justin.
blocking machine.
Actually, JR Atienza with 8 rebounds already on this game.
And Landicho turns it over. And Calagos checks out again. Arcangel checks in. Looks like Coach Darrell that he's still on the injury tab here because Coach Tito Reyes is still controlling his playtime and not letting him play with greater minutes here.
You're correct, Justin. But maybe if this game go down the wire, we know that Rogelio Calagos will always be there, ready to take the challenge.
And now LPU, they're down by 10. Lat trying to bring that within single digits. He's fouled and one. Strong finish.
And a great recognition on that possession by Owen Lat, getting the contact and then making sure that he will put the ball to the basket and a possible end one opportunity for him.
No, it's all about the free throws. Owen Lat makes the bonus. It's a 7-point game. Oh, sorry, it's still a 10-point game. Underneath. And nice pass.
And it's a great high-low play given there by De La Salle Dasmariñas. Ball was on the post, and then the big man is looking for an entry pass at the baseline, and it's an easy basket for La Salle Dasmariñas on that possession.
And just look at Atienza. A stalwart at the defense and a bulldozer on the offense.
If you are big as Atienza, you need to use your heft to operate inside, and that's what he did on that possession. Great job for Atienza.
And now the referees are discussing something and not quite sure what, but one thing is for certain, Atienza will be shooting 2 free throws at the line here. And
Razonable was called or with a warning for faking a foul. This is one thing that I mentioned earlier that I didn't like. But on that possession, I'm not sure if it's an act or it's really a strong bump given by Atienza to Razonable.
Exactly, Coach Darrell. To give benefit to the doubt, Razonable is also a big guy. He has a hefty build, but considering how Atienza plays this game, maybe that's really not an act, but really just the strength of Atienza playing its role in that sequence.
And let's see in here if Atienza can make it on another shot.
He misses the second. Now Razonable gets the board. Arcangel looking forward, but he finds somebody. Hits the rim.
And actually, that pass almost went into the basket.
Imagine if that had went in, Coach Darrell. Would have been a complete silence. Not because of disappointment, but because of awe. Now Operario, wide open. Gets it to go.
All day to shoot for Neo Operario. That's the problem right there is Arcangel gambled for a steal but didn't recover for a defense. That's why Neo Operario was left wide open on that shot.
And there's a foul there. Somebody's caught reaching in, and the foul will be whistled. And Vesagas will be going back to the free throw line. He misses the first of 2. LPU is still trying to mount somewhat of a run here to close off this half. They're down by 7, make it down by 8, and a timeout will be whistled here LPU want to talk things over, and we'll be right back after a short while. We are still live here from Santa Mesa inside the PUP Gymnasium. It's DLSU leading the LPU.
PUP, one of the richest school that we have here in the Philippines. They are the only school who has their own terminal of PNR.
Right outside the school.
And
And Atienza, if PUP has their own train terminal, LPU has their own bulldozer in the name of Atienza.
you are correct. Grabbing 9 rebounds already and 4 points in this game. But this time he was bulldozed on the other end by J.R. Resonable.
And Razonable trying to go for an eye on that play. Atienza scored one on him, and he scored one back on Atienza. Gives it to Atienza at the post again. What a matchup this is. Vargas loses it, but Razonable will have the touch of the ball there.
Andre Vargas loses the letter a bit on that possession. With just 6 seconds on the shot clock, this ball will still go back to the LPU Laguna.
Operario, Tulat, short, rebounded by Atienza, goes for the Hesi, and still makes the basket. 6-point game, 14 seconds left. Aromin attacks the defense of LPU, no goal. Underneath Razonable that time, and it's a showdown.
Razonable really not giving up. He wants to show himself as well that I can bulldoze also inside like JR Atienza.
At the end of the first half, it's a showdown between Atienza and Razonable in the paint. We'll be right back for the third quarter. We are back from the break. We're still here inside the PUP Gymnasium here in Santa Mesa, Manila. It's still Justine Hernandez alongside Coach Daryl Lalulod. LPU is trailing the De La Salle Dasmariñas.
That is right, Justin. It's 43-35 in favor of De La Salle Dasmariñas. Tail of our first half in here. It's because of the pressure defense of De La Salle Dasmariñas. They're able to get the ball away from LPU Laguna 14 times. And they are able to utilize that because of the points of turnovers. That's 15 points coming off turnovers and fast break points of 8. So they are really dominating the run and gun game here for De La Salle Dasmariñas. On the other end, for LPU Laguna, actually they are scoring higher, the percentage is higher than the De La Salle Dasmariñas. It's 45% right in the paint. So if you're LPU Laguna, you want to use your heft inside, dump the ball in, and score with an easy basket in the 2-point area.
Coach Daryl, as you were talking, Calagos just opened up the third quarter with an acrobatic finish and one. Now it's an 11-point game. Operario gives it to Hidalgo. Underneath to Alota. Those long arms. Gets his own miss. Alota is fouled and one.
The pogo jumper. Alota. It's like he's having a pogo sticks on those legs. Quick second jump. And even the taller Puda can reach the height of Rodolfo Alota.
It looks easy when you watch it on your screens, Coach Daryl, but a second jump is not something that you can easily get. Or sometimes it's really a genetic gift to have that. And Razonable tries a perimeter J, but no go. Landicho gives it to Operario. Now to Hidalgo. Alota posting up on Puda. Puda is just getting hammered.
And Rodolfo Alota, it's a great seal against a slimmer Puda and putting the ball into the hoop. He knows he has a strength advantage. He's really taking over it.
And Atienza, the ball slipped from his hands, but luckily a green shirt was right behind him and the ball bounced off of his hands.
And now a substitution is happening right here. Puda will rest for a moment and he will be replaced by a heftier Paul De Los Santos.
And now the centerpiece for for De La Salle rather is gone thicker. And Ashan Vesagas will be whistled for the foul, and Alota will be receiving the inbound. Nice pass by Hidalgo to cross the backcourt. Now Landicho. He's been quiet so far. Gives it out. Hidalgo wide open. And a trifecta has been converted.
A clear lean on the three-point shot for Hidalgo and a timeout whistled in here. We'll be back after this break.
And we're back straight into the action. DLSU Dasmariñas 46, LPU Laguna 43. Hidalgo will get the board and there's a foul against.
I think it will be whistled against Paul De Los Santos. Because after his miss, he reached for the ball right away on the hands of Hidalgo.
Alota turns it over to Montes. Montes is just relentless.
It's a great move by Louis Montes. You don't know what hand is he going to use to shoot that basketball. Coming from the right, going to the left. That's Louis Montes for you.
That's a sore miss on the other end for a lot. And another end one play. This time it's Sean Vesagas who's providing it.
This time the slasher, Sean Vesagas, showing us how skillful he is. You know, to an acrobatic finish for Sean Vesagas. I'm running out of words because of this kid.
And exactly, Sean Vesagas just amazing us here on the commentary table. Now for the bonus free throw. Vesagas converts the end one. Now Operario being defended by Vesagas, being trapped by two guys. Was able to pass it to Hidalgo. Hidalgo, big man moves, no go.
And a miss in there by Rodolfo Alota.
Calagos against. Ooh, nice block inside. Sees Vesagas to Montes. Drives it in, no go. Paul de los Santos. Rebounded by Razonable, but he'll be fouled.
But kudos to the defense given there by Rodolfo Alota. You can see him running, jumping, blocking, and intimidating all of the shots of the De La Salle Dasmariñas.
They have 14 seconds to work with here. And without Atienza underneath, oh, there's a foul.
That is right. I think it will be a technical foul called against Rodolfo Alota. He hit Paul de los Santos on the face. Let's wait. What will be the official call in here?
This is an unsportsmanlike foul there. Alota has had a very short temper in today's game, Coach Tera.
And we are saying earlier that Rodolfo Alota is really playing well on the defense, and this will be a blow against LPU Laguna because he will sit for 3 minutes for a cool down after that flagrant foul or unsportsmanlike foul called against him. And this is not the first time that this happened to Rodolfo Alota. There are games that I've covered that Rodolfo Alota was thrown out of the playing court because of these antics that he is doing.
Coach Mike Sadianco, on the other hand, is talking to the referee, saying that it was Paul de los Santos, I think, who started the motion, and basically Alota only retaliated, but that's not an excuse for a player to retaliate.
You're correct, Justin. It's not an excuse for you to retaliate. If the whistle is not blown, you need to maintain your composure. You need to be smart all the time.
And now De La Salle is mounting another offensive play here. It's Montes. Passes to Calagos. A screen from Razonable. Calagos. Nice pass underneath to Paul de los Santos.
Paul de los Santos making sure that the pass or the great pass of Calagos will result for a 2 points. And this time it's Louis Montes with a finish.
The steal, the body control, and the 2 points. Lat is blocked out. But a foul will be whistled on De Los Santos, and he cannot believe it.
And Louis Montes with 12 points already. What a player to have on your roster. Louis Montes, energy guy, can play a defense on the speed, on the faster guards, and can also muscle his way through in the paint.
If only hustle and energy is on the score sheet, Louis Montes is probably the first name you'll see on that list.
And it's 57-43 already. Slowly, DLSU Dasmariñas is gaining a huge control here in this game. But Owen Lat is on the line for 2 free throws. Wants to trim this lead down, but unable to do so.
There are still 6 minutes and 12 seconds remaining on this game. It's a 13-point game. It's still too early to say who'll win this one, but it's surely pointing towards the side of the De La Salle as Razonable will get that 2-pointer to go.
And it's a great play created in there by Calagos, but this time, another drop pass and another score for Paul De Los Santos after the pass of Louis Montes. And here comes the choking full court pressure of Lasal Dasmariñas again, given to the LPU Laguna.
Louis Montes will soon be arrested by the police for stealing too many balls in this game. And there's a foul.
And a flagrant or unsportsmanlike foul called against Razonable. So I think that is right, against Razonable. So he will sit for a 3 minutes cool down right here.
The referee was able to see through that play. An unnecessary motion from Razonable was caught by the referee. And that's why Banaticla will earn a trip to the free throw line for 2 shots and a ball possession for LPU. 17-point game, 61-44.
And Mark Banaticla is a little bit silent in this game. You know, just 2 points in this game. He's averaging 6.7 with 7.7 rebounds. He is not on the usual average right now, but he still has time. And LPU, actually, this is still possible for them to be back on this ball game, 61-45. Anything's still possible. All they need to do is just one stop and then one possession at a time, convert every basket that they have as much as possible, and stop Dasmariñas on the other end.
And now, Lat is the one inbounding to Largueza. Looking for a good play here. There's a mismatch on the post. It's Atienza going up against Montes, but LPU not looking to exploit that one. And a shot clock violation. What a defense by De La Salle.
And that is because the smaller Rogelio Calagos really hounding a bigger Mark Banaticla on that possession. And Mark Banaticla unable to control the letter, and the shot clock violation was whistled against them.
Atienza was pleading for the leather there because he was up against a smaller Montes, but it was not given. Now it's Montes again, mounting the offensive end. Calagos to Yamado, to Montes, Montes, Hesse, Montes above Atienza.
And I like that one dribble pull-up of Louis Montes. The opposing players thought that he will drive to the basket, strong to the basket. That's what they are anticipating.
Power rebound by Calagos. They call it the Escati Calawit, Coach Darrell.
You're correct, showing the intensity. Rogelio Calagos, but this time, Sean Vesagas scoring on the perimeter.
You know, Coach Darrell, looking at Calagos, I think one of the good comparison for his type of play with how much intensity, how much scoring he can bring into the team in playmaking. A good comparison is Scotty Thompson.
You're correct. It's just that Scotty Thompson is a bit taller really, than Rogelio Calagos. But the same play style, the same energy that they bring for their teams.
The only player in the history of Philippine basketball that makes a rebound play a highlight.
Everyone is shouting after the rebound, or every rebound that Scotty grabs.
Now Montes again.
Louis Montes with a walk in the park finish.
Now Landicho, he's been quiet so far.
You know, LPU Laguna needs to do a better job right here in a transition defense. They can play a well-oiled offense, but the defense also needs to be, they need to run really. They're not running, they just doing the 2-3 zone every time that there will be a play. So look at this, another 3-point opportunity, but a miss by, I think that's Owen Lat who missed that shot. Am I right?
No, it was Bunda who missed that shot.
Oh, sorry, it's Bunda.
Yes. And now Landicho will try again from 3. He has no luck from that range so far today. Only made one in the first half, and suddenly it's a 22-point game. It's a bit disheartening for LPU here. And a foul on Calagos. I think that's an intentional foul.
That's a duty foul. That's what we call duty foul for Rogelio Calagos. Yeah.
Montes suffered a bad fall there. He was shaken up a bit, but good to see him walking, standing right up by himself.
I know that kid. That's nothing for him. He will just shake that one off and then be back on the playing court.
LPU just crumbling apart here in this third quarter.
Hard fall for us. It's just a soft fall for Louis Montes.
It's just another day.
That's just another day and another fall for him. Just like a golem, built like a stone.
I think, Coach Daryl, the better comparison is built like a rubber. You'll see me fall and bounce, but I'm still as strong as I was before that fall. And now the second free throw. He makes that, Landicho. We need to see some intensity here from LPU. We need to see them make shots that are open and be more be smarter, actually, in making plays and taking shots. As Yamado takes the three, no go, rebounded by Bunda. Now Bunda takes the three. No go. Rebounded by Alota. He's back on the floor.
And that's one thing that the LPU missed. The rebounding of Rodolfo Alota. And look at him trying to finish strong inside. But a foul will be called against Paul De Los Santos.
And Alota looks like he got some, he's getting some determination to bounce back here. He sees De Los Santos right in front of him. He attacks it.
Rodolfo Alota is a fiery player. He really wants that energy, really emotional, wants to play his heart out. But sometimes you need to control that. He's running out of control most of the times. That's why he will be called with a technical foul or unsportsmanlike foul sometimes.
And Rodolfo Alota makes the first of two. It's a 19-point game. It was close at the half, but now it's the game is spread wide open. Now Calagos gives it to Yamado for three. The ball rolls in and out. Alota.
Look who grabbed the rebound. It's Rodolfo Alota again for the LPU Laguna.
Landicho. Long range three-pointer, no go. Now it's Bunda. Being stalked by Barbin. Bunda with a one-hander.
Stop and pop for Ron Roy Bunda, knowing that he has a taller defender in front of him. He will not challenge. I will just shoot a looper.
Alota looking down the three defenders and then proceeding to put that basket in.
The jumping Alota. Imagine how high the ceiling of this player is if he can dribble the basketball really well.
And now it's DLSU attacking. Nice pass underneath. Blocked upstairs. Reyes is checked into the ball game, and the pass was too strong from Barbin, and Lat wouldn't be able to receive it. Turnover for the white shirts.
That is a wild pass thrown by Lord Barbin. Even Owen Lat has a 1 or 2 step ahead of you. You just need to probably 1 step forward, for your pass instead of, giving it way off on the line.
Wide open Bunda. Thought about it. Hessis gives it. Yamada for three. He's been getting that green light to take those shots, but he's been missing it.
And I've been counting the rebound of Rodolfo Alota after his return, and he already grabbed 3 rebounds right away.
And that was the missing link for LPU.
Oh, that will be a miscommunication between Rodolfo Alota and Andre Vargas. That's a great intention coming from Rodolfo Alota, but Andre Vargas is not looking and not ready to catch that ball.
And it's just a bit disappointing, Coach Daryl, as they are chasing De La Salle here. Calagos misses the 3. Sorry, that was Bunda who missed it. And now Landicho. Step back. Takes the 3. Still no go.
But Andre Vargas unable to control the ball again. Grabbed the rebound but got it off his foot.
There's still 7.9 seconds to work with. They can still get a bucket here. Arcangel. Dribbling and dicing. Arcangel. No go. And that's the end of the third quarter. DLSU dismantling LPU. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter. And we are back here for the fourth quarter of play. It's DLSU. Bunda passes it to the corner. And that's how you start a fourth quarter. That's Trinidad.
Tres for Trinidad, right, Justin?
Exactly.
But you know what, Justin? It's a 26-15 win on the third quarter by the LaSalle Dasmariñas against the LPU Laguna. It means that every quarter actually that they have, the LaSalle Dasmariñas has an advantage. That's why they are up like this.
And for every quarter there was, LPU hasn't found an answer nor a solution to the DLSL problem. Now there's 2 free throws coming for Alota. And looks like Lires has just been disqualified from today's game. He just got his 5 fouls.
That's one thing that Lee Reyes needs to watch out on his game. You know, the foul trouble. He's always putting his, or trying to swat that ball away against his defenders or opponents, but it will be better just to intimidate them. Alter the shot for you not to commit a foul or grab those rebounds. The block is good. It will be great on the highlight reel, but it will be better if you will just alter it and then contain the ball.
Oh no! That was a wide open lane for Operario.
And a really sorry miss inside or on the side of Neo Operario.
Now Resonable just got back on the floor and he'll deliver a good looking perimeter J. Now Landicho against Trinidad. Gives it to Hidalgo. To Alota at the post against Razonable. Hands it over to Hidalgo. What a passing by these 2 men.
And make sure finish by Rodolfo. I thought that he will jam it down the rim. That's what I'm waiting for the Rodolfo Alota. But a great pass on the side of Hidalgo.
Now Trinidad for 3. No go. Rebounded by... That's Hidalgo. Gives it to Operario. Operario caught by the defense. Now Bunda attacking. Bunda hands it over to Razonable. Short Hidalgo.
And look who grabbed the rebound. It's Rodolfo Alota again for the LPU.
That's no surprise there. But Landicho. What a bounce.
A shooter bounce for Landicho.
And the timeout will be whistled here as the momentum goes to LPU. We'll be right back after a short while. And we are back here. Arcangel hands it to Bunda. Back to Arcangel. To Bunda again. To the corner. Trinidad is caught stepping on the line. Ball swings back to the LPU.
And so,
Operario.
despite the huge advantage that the LaSalle Dasmariñas had right here, they are still continue playing a full court pressure against the LPU Laguna Pirates.
And the ball was tipped out of bounds by a green shirt. Not quite sure who, but one thing is for certain, the ball would stay with the white shirts here. Now Hidalgo for the inbound.
Hidalgo.
Gives it to Landicho. Nice fake by Landicho. Hesitates. Gives it to Hidalgo. On the post. It's Alota against Razonable. Now Landicho for three. Gets it to go. Looks like he's getting his rhythm.
That's Ivan Landicho. 10 points already on this game, and that assist is courtesy of Rodolfo Alota.
Rodolfo Alota showing some versatility here. It's a 15-point game now. Still lots of time to bounce back. 7 minutes, 5 seconds remaining on this game. Now Bunda, square looking jump shot, and look who's collecting that board. That's Landicho tapping it over to Hidalgo. Operario loses it to Bunda. Ronroy Bunda all the way.
And Ronroy Bunda with a walk in the park layup. Neo Operario loses his control on that ball, and Bunda taking advantage.
And there's a foul underneath against Razonable, and he can't find a reasonable answer from the referee why that foul was called on him. Still arguing with the referees here. And Calago said, forget about it. Just make up for it for the next play.
Rogelio Calagos, a big factor here for De La Salle Dasmariñas. He is not only playing well on the offensive side, but he is the one controlling his teammates in terms of emotion. Look at that finish by who? Guess what? It's Rodolfo Alota again with a putback.
Just like a thief in the night. Razonable already has that ball, and then he took it from behind. Calagos looking for a pass here to Razonable, but he won't be able to control that leather, and it will go out of bounds.
This is just 15 points that they are trying to lower, or they're trying to trim down. They can do this one possession at a time. Anything is still possible for the LPU Pirates.
Exactly,
this is not
Coach
time
Darryl.
to give up.
There is still 5 minutes to work with to mount a comeback here, and they are looking more intense here in the fourth quarter of play.
That is right. 5 minutes and 54 to be exact.
Hidalgo has been a steady contributor here for LPU. Now it's Landicho. Dancing against Trinidad. Screened by Owen Lat. Lat. Pass back to Landicho, and that's a shot clock violation once again.
And that's what I'm talking about earlier, Justin. If your teammate is not aware about the shot clock, you need to make them aware of if you are on the bench. And I didn't see that on the LPU side.
They always say, Coach Darryl, communication is the key for success.
Totally agree.
In any team sport there is. Now Calagos attacking. Passes it to the corner. To Shan Vesagas. Ball goes in.
Sean Vesagas, the scoring machine for the De La Salle Dasmariñas, letting us feel his presence in this game.
O'Neal Arqueza gives it to Hidalgo. But the ball will be tapped out of bounds, I think, by Montes. And a substitution here, Banatikla checks in for Owen Lat.
And this is a big front court for the LPU Laguna. They have Hidalgo, Mark Banatikla, and Rodolfo Alota defending the paint. This will be a problem here for La Salle Dasmariñas. But the advantage for them if they will do the run and gun game, because these are big men.
Now Landicho fakes it. Gives it to Alota. Alota, long range J, no go. Rebounded by Shan Vesagas. Looking forward. Passes it to nobody. Out of bounds. Miscommunication there between Vesagas and Razonable. Considering how good he played in the previous quarters, Coach Daryl, it's a shock that Atienza is not on the floor right now.
Yes, you are correct. Probably what they want right here is the chemistry of the usual rotation that they have. Let's see if Atienza can be filled it in again.
Now Largueza looking for somebody to give the ball to. And a wide open Alota. Nice recognition there by Largueza.
Rodolfo Alota keeping this game alive for LPU Laguna.
It's a good thing that LPU is being able to score here. There's no doubt about that. The thing is that if they keep on scoring, they have also to stop the offense of La Salle, or else it'll just be a blow by blow and they can't win through that. They're down by 15 here.
And this time, it's Mark Balatikla. And a great pass by Mark Balatikla to an open Rodolfo Alota. Look how Rodolfo Alota play with the board before making that shot. That's how high he soars.
It's not just about the showmanship when you do those kinds of plays, especially at this time, Coach Darrell. It's all about energizing your teammates. Those kinds of play hypes up your teammate and the crowd. Now they're attacking. An open Razonable, and Hidalgo pulls the chair on him. But Trinidad said, I got this. 3-pointer on the go, and LPU calls a timeout because of that. We'll be right back. Before the timeout, Trinidad was able to sink a trifecta from a broken play, and I guess that has just been the story for today's game. De La Salle University leading by 16 as there's only 3 minutes 17 seconds left in this fourth quarter of play. This game is brought to you by Paninap Beach Camp in Cambrial, Quezon, and During's Barbecue and Restaurant located at Calawan, Pasig City. Also brought to you by our official ball, Molten. That's the game.
And of course, we want to thank the PSC and the PSC chairman, Mr. Richard Backman. We want to really thank him for the support here at the NCRAA 29 season.
And a pass too long resulted to a turnover, and Montes will get another finish. Operario being trapped here. 3-on-1 break. Oh, and Lat with an open lane off the pass of Hidalgo.
The LPU Laguna, they could have done that earlier in this game. Run and gun game, probably. They will be afloat if they'll do that earlier here at the second half, maybe.
Now there's a bit too little time for a comeback, especially if Shan Vesagas will be able to score that easily on you. It will be very hard to mount that comeback.
And for LPU Laguna, you cannot give Shan Vesagas an open lane for drive. He will make sure that he will utilize that if that will happen, like what happened in that play.
Exactly, Coach Darrell, but Alota's intensity is never waning down as De La Salle Dasmariñas would want to talk things over. We'll be right back after this timeout. going into that timeout. It seems like Coach Tito Reyes of De La Salle Dasmariñas wants to talk things over and wants to make sure that his team won't fumble up the 16-point lead leading into the last 2 minutes. Montes swings it over to the top to Calagos, to Shan Vesagas. Montes in the middle, Paul De Los Santos. That ball goes in and a foul as well, so that will be counted.
And I think that will be called against Madrigal, who just entered the playing court for La Salle Dasmariñas.
Landicho to the other side of the court. Operario for three. No go. Rebounded by Paul De Los Santos. And look at the hustle of Alota.
That is right, Justin. You know, this is the best player actually of this game, if you will ask me. But they are just down here on this game against De La Salle Dasmariñas. But Rodolfo Alota, you can see how he plays, how he hustles.
And Madrigal seems like overpowered Rodolfo Alota on that play. A rare sight. A minute 13 remaining. Aromin just checked in for Vesagas. Operario attacking. Gives it to Landicho. Wide open. Can't get it to go.
Landicho is still offline on this day. He usually can sink those kind of open shots.
And Operario erased that ball. Arcangel gets blocked. Oh, sorry, that was not Arcangel. That was Aromin who got blocked. Arcangel just checking in for Montes now.
Look at this. De La Salle Dasmariñas is letting their key players to rest in this game. A big win for their team. 89-69 with just less than a minute. It's safe to say that there's a W for La Salle Dasmariñas. And Madrigal scores right away.
Now LPU, Landicho attacking. Gives it to Bernardo. To the wing. To Alota. Landicho swings it. Bernardo for three. Air mails it. And the ball will hit Paul Dos Santos. Ball will remain with the White Shirts. There's only 35.4 seconds remaining in this game. And 7-second shot clock. Alota left wide open. No go. And they're fumbling here. There's 25 seconds left to play. Landicho gives it. Now Alota.
And look at Rodolfo Alota still trying to score here in this game, even though they are down with a big deficit.
The heart and intensity of Rodolfo Alota and the LPU will not be enough, as the DLSU Dasmariñas will trample them over in an ecstatic fashion. 91-71. It's a 20-point landslide for our second game. When we return, we'll be with the best player of the game. We'll be right back after a short break.
Louie! Uy, tara boy. Para mabilis tayo matapos. Nangain pa tayo.
And we are still here in PUP Gymnasium here in Santa Mesa, Manila. Right beside me is the speedster, Louis Montes, the best player of the game. Louis, this game is very exciting. You've been all over the floor. What are your thoughts on your performance?
Ano lang, mindset lang namin na kahit yung LPU parang medyo nasa baba sila ng standing, nirespeto pa rin namin sila. Kasi pag hindi namin ginawa yun, baka makakuha pa kami ng panalo. Kaya ganun din siguro yung naging performance namin kasi nirespeto namin yung kalaban namin na parang every other kalaban namin.
Ito naman, Louie. I know that you are not aware of this, but you are 24 points positive on this game. Every time that you are fielded in, lumalamang yung Lasal Dasmariñas. Ano ba yung mga preparation mo? Bakit naging ganun yung mga performance mo? Probably ilang games ka ng ganito. Ang ganda ng nilalaro mo. Meron ba tayong special training?
Wala naman, talagang ginagawa ko lang yung role ko every game kasi alam ko naman darating yung points, minsan hindi darating yung points, pero pag ginagawa ko yung best ko, may chance na makascore, may chance na makuha din panalo. Wala naman special training. Talagang sa training namin, talagang nakipag-compete kami sa isa't isa. Para pagdating ng game, hindi kami mabibigla sa kalaban namin kahit sino pa.
So, Louis, walang special training pero sigurado kung may gusto kang batiin.
Yun, okay lang madami, okay lang. Una-una, binabati ko si Daddy, family ko, si Daddy, si Mami, si Lara, si Kuya Renz. Yung family ko sa California, si Lolo Ramon, Lola Lina, Tita Che, Lola Jean, tsaka yung mga pinsan ko. Tsaka si Gulf Fam ko, Mami Grace, Coach Vince, tsaka yung coach namin, Coach Tito, Coach Kangkong, Doc Ray, tsaka yung sports director namin, si Sir Jerry, si Mamayan na bagong panganak, congratulations. Tsaka yung lola ko sa Heaven, si Lola Lily. Yan.
And thank you so much. And again, congratulations, Louie, for that wonderful game that you have and for your win today. And we will be back next year with our women's basketball game here at the 29th season of the NCRAA. Again, my name is Dari Erlod, together with Justin Hernandez for our third game. Stay tuned, guys.
We'll be right back.